So hello everyone, welcome to Trendy Education. In this video, I am going to explain you the data mining task. So what is data mining task? It's nothing but in data mining it has some task to perform. So it includes two types. What are these two types? Are predictive and descriptive. So these are the two types of task in data mining. So let me explain you detailing. So in predictive task, what it will do is, it will just predict the value of a particular attribute. So using some set of attributes, we will just go to predict a particular attribute. So the variables which are used to get the prediction value is called explanatory or independent variable. And the variable we are going to find is target or dependent variable. So let me write here. We are just going to predict the value. So I am going to explain you with an example here. So let me take an example as a couples and who are in relationship now, and this is the set of variables whether they marry or not. So this is the example. So I am just going to predict the value. This is the couples of years, how many years they are loving, they are in relationships there, and 3, 5, 7, 6. So I am going, so I am just predicting if the relationship is more than 5, they will marry. So if a relationship is less than 3 years or 5 years, I am just going to mark it as they won't marry, they won't get married. It might be chance to get married, but they won't marry is my prediction. So this is how I am going to predict the value. And 2, so they also won't marry. So I am just predicting the value. This is not 100% sure, and this is not 100% false as well. So it is the values that I am predicting. I am not getting the absolute or the correct value. So this is the only prediction. And this is the variable. So this is the attribute which is called the independent variable, or this is also called as explanatory variable. So this is called the independent variable. So and this is they will marry or not. This is dependent. This is just depend upon this. So I am just predicting dependent variable, or this is also called as target variable. And this is called as explanatory variable. So this prediction is of, and this is of predictive modeling is of 3 types, and these are the types: classification, regression, and the other one is time series. These are the types of predictive modeling. And let me explain you the descriptive modeling here. So in descriptive modeling, we are just going to discover a pattern from the previous attributes. Derive a pattern. And this is exploratory in nature. So we have to explore more and more in this descriptive modeling. So and it is of, as well as it is of 4 types. What are those 4 types are? So I am going to explain, before that I am going to explain you example for descriptive modeling. So in descriptive modeling, we are just going to cluster or associate a particular. In this, we are just going to derive a pattern. So from the previous observation, we are just going to get a pattern. So as I already explained you this example in my previous video. So I am going to get a particular attribute called as a student's mark. So a student getting mark 90% in first semester and in second semester he got as well as 90%. So what might be the third he may get 90 or more than 90, that is 91, 92, or he may get nearly 90 like 89%. So this is how the pattern derivation. So I'm just getting a pattern from that student. So he already get 90%. So he will also get 90% in the third semester as well. So I'm just using the previous attributes or the previous pattern to take a new pattern. So this is how the descriptive modeling. So it is of 4 types. What are those? Or cluster analysis, association analysis, and anomaly detection, and the fourth one is the summarization. So these are the types of descriptive modeling. Coming to the topic, predictive modeling. In predictive modeling, it is of 3 types. I already told. What are those 3 types? Are classification, regression, and time series. So the first topic here is the classification. So why this classification predictive modeling is used is for discrete target variables. So discrete or finite target variables. That means it has an end. So the variable has an end. So let us take an example whether a person will buy this book or not. So this is discrete target variable. From the previous attributes or observations, I am going to predict the value whether the person will buy this book or not. So this is how the classification will be done. So example, like I am getting many more attributes and the final target variable here is whether they will buy this or not. Only 2 types of values, whether he may buy the book or he may not buy the book. So this is the 2 values here. So the next topic is under predictive modeling is regression. So in regression, we are just going to, this is exact opposite of the classification. So in classification, we are just going to use a finite target variable. So as well as in regression, we are just going to a continuous target variable. So for an example, I am taking a book price. So a book price is today it is 50 rupees and it may rise up to 100 rupees tomorrow, or it may rise up to 200 rupees this week. So this is continuous target variable. I couldn't be able to predict the value within this week or this month. It may rise, and this is called continuous target variable. So the next topic here is time series. So in time series analysis, we are just going to use a time series. We are using a series of data points here. By using this series of data points, we are going to get a particular prediction value for the future. So this model is used to predict the particular value from previous observation, as I told already. And for example of this heartbeat rate, we know ECG, right? So this is the ECG. And this is the ECG. So if the ECG, that this is a person's heartbeat rate, and if the ECG is equal to the normal, this is the ECG of a normal person, and if the ECG is equal to the person's ECG, then he is absolutely in perfect condition, or he is normal. So if the ECG is a little bit wrong, so the person is abnormal condition. So this is how the time series analysis is used, and this is also used in the height, measuring the height of ocean waves. We are measuring this is how the time series will be look like, and it is plotted in a graph like structure. This is how this is drawn, time series analysis. I am measuring the ocean wave 5, 10 like that we take. So the first day it is 5 and the second day it is 10, and it will go, and for a particular time it will again come to 5 and 10 and then 15. So after that it will again, it is somewhat like a cycle. So this time series analysis is used for as well as measuring the ocean wave types also. So what is the task of this predictive modeling is, the task of predictive modeling is to find a model with minimum error. That is, the predicted value and the true value should be nearly close, and it should not somewhat unwanted data or unwanted values which is totally opposite to the true value. So now coming to the topic, descriptive modeling. In descriptive modeling, we have 4 topics. What are those topics? Or association analysis, cluster analysis, anomaly detection, and the summarization. So let me explain you detailedly all those topics. So now coming to the first topic, association analysis. So in association analysis, what we'll be going to perform here is, we are just going to discover a pattern that strongly associate the features of the attributes. So for example, so it is the goal of the association analysis is to extract the most interesting pattern among the features. So what we are going to do here is, in this will be discover a pattern with strongly associated features. So now the goal of the association analysis is to extract the most interesting pattern among the features. Extract most interesting pattern among the attributes. So where it is used? So now coming to the example of the association analysis. So how we associate things is, so a people who buy milk will also buy diaper. So how they are associating? So if a person milk buy, it may be chances they have a baby. So if they buy milk, it may chance to buy diaper. So this is associated. So milk is associated with diaper here. So where it is commonly used is, it is used to find group of genes have related functions, and it is another example I'm saying. So you are going to search in Chrome or Google something. So you just enter data mining. You have a lot and lots of answers. That is, you got hundreds and thousands of web pages. So to identify the web pages that are accessed together. So in this, association analysis is used. So let me write the example also. It is used to find group of genes, and it is also used in web pages to access together. So now coming to the next topic, which is cluster analysis. So in cluster analysis, we are just going to cluster, that is, we are going to find a group of closely related. So we are just going to find something which is similar. So we are just going to identify a group which is similar, and the objects in the groups are similar. For example, in a newspaper article, let me write what is cluster analysis. So now I am explaining the example of cluster analysis. So let us take an example in a class. I am going to cluster people based upon their studies. So how I am going to classify the people, that is, I am going to cluster the people as average student, well studied, that is poor student, average student, and high student, toppers. So this is how cluster analysis is used. We are just going to group a particular observation based on close related things. So where it is used is, so in newspaper, what are the things we read? For example, it is a economic newspaper. It is based upon economic words. So we just cluster all the economic words, and we are analyzing that it is a economic based part of the newspaper. So this is how the cluster analysis is used. So I am writing the example, clustering students based upon their marks. So now coming to the next topic. The next topic I am going to explain is anomaly detection. So what is anomaly in the sense? Anomaly is nothing but the outliers which are actually present in your data. So anomaly are nothing but outliers. So what is outliers in the sense? It is nothing but a thing which is totally different from your normal things. So a task of identify other characteristics which is different from the set of the characteristics. So this is the anomaly detection. We are just going to identify observations whose characteristics are different from the rest of the data. So it is also called as outliers or anomalies. And the goal of this anomaly detection is the goal of this anomaly detection is to discover the real anomaly. So let me give an example for anomaly detection. So a group of genes, or let me take your health condition. So till yesterday you have a complete total different health condition, and from today onwards you are just going to occur in a condition called so you have some disease. So the anomaly detection will just detect the group of genes which is different from the rest of the characteristics, that is the group of genes which is different from your rest of the genes. So this is how the anomaly detection will work, and it is also used in the detection of fraud. Detection of fraud, and it is also used in medicine. As I told, it is used to detect disease. And the last topic we will be seeing is summarization. So summarization is nothing but concluding, a short conclusion of your big data or something. So for example, let me write what is summarization. A short conclusion of your big large repository data, large data. So for example, you have in a transaction, how many amount or how many items are purchased. So this total are concluded in the last. So total number of items or total amount, which is actually calculated by this summarization. So example is total items or total amount. So we are just going to conclude the total by using the summarization method in data mining. So I hope you understand. Thank you for watching my video. Like my video if you like, and share it with your friends. Thank you.